Hello again and welcome to another Handy Dan video, part 3 of my electric smart car wide buy. This video covers all the parts that need fitting adjustments. First, on the rear bumper, I needed to cut these areas here and here for the tailgate hinges. The rear fenders have this lip designed to fit on the car, kind of like this, but it doesn't blend well. And I want mine to sit lower, like here. So I will need to trim this lip somewhere along this crease, all the way around. And kind of blend it out here. I'll make a cardboard template. Use my finger as a guide. Trace the original body. And I trimmed it to fit. Here you see that the fender isn't exactly the shape of the car. Let me get you a better view. I'll hold this here. The fender's not as sharp in the corner. So here I'm using a multi-tool and I'll cut the fiberglass. Speed this up a bit through here. Now we can take the fender and curve it to fit the car. That's a nice fit. The rear fenders also need to be trimmed to fit the bumper. They give a wide area to trim depending on the fitment on the car. They go together something like this. Now we have the rear bumper in. I had to trim away the original fender here for a little bit of clearance on the new fender edge. So here's how the right fender goes in. It covers the original cut where I trimmed it. I'm going to lift this up a little bit in position. There's a little gap here I'll work on later. The left side fits about the same. We have a little work to get it to fit properly too. The rear lower valance corners are really tight in the bumper. They have it molded here at 90 degrees, but it sits at a little angle. So we'll need to mold these corners in with some heat. And roll them in. You'll never see this little crack here. I got that pushed in. Now it's all clamped to the rear bumper. The corners fit really good. I have it even all the way across, about a ½ inch out. Flip it over carefully. In this area here, I'll bolt all together. I use a right angle air drill to get into tight corners. Number 1032 bolts with washers and lock nuts. Okay, here it is all bolted together. I'll flip it around. It looks great. It's angled under just a little bit. Now I'll remove all the grills. They have little metal tabs, just bend them up. Here's a close-up of the tabs and some fiberglass strands. We'll have to sand those off. There's the tabs here and here. Now I'll make new grills, the same as my car has on it. I use the old ones as the guide and cut these out and print them to fit. Here I'm using 3/4 inch tape to follow the body line on the car so I can trace a good straight line on the fender for my next cut. I used a belt sander. I got the edge nice and straight. And I blended it right into the flare curve. I got it mounted on the car, and the front half is too close to the tire. So I heated it up and used something to hold it while it cooled. Push this up a little bit tighter and let it cool. I have to do the same for the other side. Nice thing about fiberglass is you can always heat it up and shape it. And this is about how it will all fit together. Side rockers have an extra width here, trim to fit also. But this area that goes under has a big gap on it. So I'll trim this back here and along this dotted line here. Cut it something like that. So here we have it in the front. There's a big gap down the side. But I still need to remove the OEM rocker and trim this to fit back here. The bottom side looks good. It fits up flush with the frame. Alright, let's cut this thing. Again, I used the multi-tool. Cuts through fiberglass pretty easy. now I have the rocker removed and I have it installed. This body line doesn't match up with the angle. The gap starts here, runs all the way down the rocker, and it's lined up to the front flare. The driver's side has a little gap here. It's flush with the flare. It has the same gap all the way down, and the angle is off here too. And here's a little picture of the brackets I made on the underside, bolt to the frame. The front flares needed to be stretched a bit too, so again I heated them, clamped them to a sheet to hold it while it cooled. I'll push this out a little more. Put some weight on it. So there I have it sitting with the weights until it cools. Now you see how nice it fits? And both sides are even with the lip of the rim. The wing just arrived. Let's check it out. Parts are all bagged up. Hardware and everything. Wow, check out these brackets. Those look cool. The wing's all bubble wrapped too. Looks nice. A little torn here. It looks good. No damage. This is everything laid out. Not sure what these are yet. We have a complete parts list and assembly instructions, more hardware, and complete installation instructions. Now I have the wing assembled. The rear wing has these curved slots and is adjustable. It's cool how the gap stays the same. Temporarily I mounted it to my old brackets. Now we're going to start on the Toyota truck front bumper. I will cut it down to fit. Cut along here to fit the curve of the flare. We have this space on this side and on this other side. I'll cut the center out to get that to fit. These side vents here I will cut out, and I'm going to use them on the hood. Like here and then here. Okay, let's get started cutting the bumper. Okay, now it somewhat fits the tire. I still have this gap up here. It needs to go back. And we're hitting down here, so I'll cut this across like this. Bottom lines up really good to the radiator intake. And up here I'll cut this part out to get more air up to the radiator. Okay, I drilled 2 holes through the body and the steel bumper. Now I'm tapping threads for the bolts. I always allow the tap to slip a little bit in the chuck when I power tap. I'll cut spacers from this aluminum tube to support the front bumper bar. Just use this simple pipe cutter. I pre-curved this bar in my vise to match the front of the car. And then we'll bolt it on. This will later be bolted and glued to the fiberglass front bumper. On the bumper, here are some spots I need to trim. And the center part I need to remove. I'll get these parts cut out next. I'm done cutting. This is all straight through here now. I need to get this closer fitting to the curve of the flare. Probably space the flare out a little bit to get it straighter on the side. Something like that. Still have this gap, so I'm probably going to take another couple inches. Yeah, I have several lines, but it's better to sneak up on it than to cut it too far. And now you see I had to cut it quite a bit further, but it's very close now. Just need to pull the flare out, clamp it in place, push it down onto the bar. I'd say it looks pretty dang cool. Did the same on the other side, and now the bumper's all braced, ready to fiberglass. The bar is bolted on with body seam sealer. And the screw heads are below the surface so I can fill them later. Use this fiberglass resin and cloth. Alright, I have 4 layers and a lot of extra resin for me. That's just more strength, right? This is just the initial glassing to get it back into one piece. So here I have the lower braces bolted onto the car's frame and out to the lower bumper. looking pretty cool. The side bumper vents I would cut out, and I trimmed them out and sanded the back pretty flat. I'm going to put them on the hood. I have them upside down since they fit better for tracing. Kind of getting them located. So I traced a dotted line around them so I can see to make the cutout just inside. I'll offset about 5/8 of an inch. Found a better pen. So this isn't critical, I just need to stay inside the profile and leave enough room for the screws to hold. So this will be my cut line. Yeah, just like the rest of the car, it cuts pretty good with the utility mode. First I'll make a light score cut. And I'll follow through with more pressure. The vents are flat, but the hood curves both ways. So I'll just heat these up, kind of put a little twist into them. That's pretty close for now. A little more twist here. Okay, now they're bolted down. Got several bolts. Got washers and lock nuts. I use Bondo glass to do the initial blending. I'm all smooth with the hood. And this is it. Thank you again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video where I'll do the body work and get this car ready to wrap. This car will one day be finished and look like this. Thank you.